Good morning. Today is the 26th of February 2025 and it's a Wednesday. I had to double check, my brain is not quite there. Yeah, Wednesday. So just 2 days left of the month. It's a short month this month. So let's hope this week ends on a green week for everybody. 2 green days for me so far. Not full risk, half risk on them, but still I feel like I'm getting back into the flow of things a little bit. Let's just start off with what news could move the market today. And we've got home sales coming in at 10. Anything happen there? I did wonder, 8:30 we had a Fed speaker because we had a bit of a sell-off. Only a small one, didn't move much. I just wondered what's going on. I didn't see any news coming in at 8:30 today. We have oil as well, so keep an eye on oil if you're in the oil stocks around 10:30. And we had a Fed speaking again at midday. So 10 AM, 10:30, midday, the times to watch. Okay, so let's get on with the levels. Let's start off with the daily so we can see where we are. I like to start with a higher time frame. On my screen, we're looking at the S&P 500 E-mini futures, and we're currently on the daily time frame. You can see we've put in almost a double top there. So let's see, so we've got areas. I've not really looked at the charts properly today. So we've had 1, 2, 3, 4 big selling days on increased volume. That's a big weak sign, that is. I talk about volume quite a lot. Whenever I'm seeing increase in volume and increase in price or decrease in price, as in this case, then that's normally a sign that it's got strength with the buyers or strength of the sellers. For example, here's a good example. We talked about this several times as well over the last month, but we've got increase in price here and we've got decrease in volume. And if you recall back to the previous videos in January, I was picking up on this saying that's a sign of weakness, and you can see we haven't really done much. We've kind of gone sideways, and you can see if I zoom out a bit, we talked about the phases of the market. So we have, let's draw it in, let's do an arrow. So we have a sideways phase, which is like the area of accumulation, phase 0 or stage 0 of the market. Then we have the buying stage, and then we have a few pullbacks in these stages as well. And then we have the distribution stage, or it could be reaccumulation, so it could be reaccumulating, getting better price. And then we will go on to the next market phase from that point, and that could either be phase 4, which is the downward phase, or where we then start it all over again, or we might put in a new move up. So these are the phases of the market, and right now we're sitting in this phase 2, which just phase 3 I meant, where we're just going sideways and we're just having big days where it's whipping up and down. Plenty of times we've seen pre-market high taken out, then pre-market low taken out, then back up to the high. It's just really difficult to trade. So these are the days when you've got managed risk. Obviously Trump can put a tweet out or something, and that can have a big reaction as well. So risk management is really, really important, and it's a good time to be learning as well. So volume wise, we just spoke about it. We've had decrease in price, but we've had increase in volume, which is a big sign of weakness. We've not quite got to the oversold area yet, so we could see some more downside. We do have this area to watch for potential bounce area, and it's a big area of confidence as well. So we can draw a line probably from this area of volume here all the way through these pivots, all the way down through there. So that's our big area of confidence. We've got a volume shelf, which is important. We've got pivot, close to pivots, but we've got bottom pivots here. So when we couldn't break, when the ceiling then became the floor, it continued to stay as the floor, and we've yet to come back down to test. But also look that we also have a 200 moving average coming up into that area as well. Last time we touched the 200 was back in August last year, so we do have a little bit of movement down potentially. I always like to think the market always comes back down to the 200, so this could be the phase now. You could say we're looking at a reversal candle. We've got a bottom tail candle. Let's just zoom in a bit. We've got a bottom tail candle, you know, big move down. But what I'm looking for reversal is a bigger volume spike than that. So a big volume spike means that's ending volume. I haven't really seen it anyway, really. Bigger volume spike there. That's potentially that's showing signaling the end of the selling volume if you just compare previous volume to it. So I'm not saying that we are not going to bounce. I don't know. We don't know that really. But areas to watch is lows of this candle. So if we break above that candle, we may see a bit of a pullback. Then keep an eye on volume. If it's declining volume, then it's just a pullback, and we could expect to see a bit of another drop down. If it's increasing volume, then maybe the buyers are back in town, and we could see it push up. Okay, so let's just go down to the hourly. Again, same. Talked about market phases earlier. You can see exactly the same phases here. It's a bit of a sideways, but on a small scale. Up phase, across, down, up phase, down. So that's a phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, and then let's have a look for levels. Do you know what? I still quite like this area of confluence we were watching yesterday. Let's just mark it up. We've got tops of pivots, bottoms of pivots, bottoms of pivots. Close to that pivot, so we can take in that area into account. So there's an area, so 60-18 area, 60-20. We do have a bit of a volume shelf coming up into it as well. We are riding down on this 50 moving average as well, so it all determines whether we can break out over pre-market high. So I will be watching pre-market high. That'll get us back over the magic 6,000 number, which is a psychological number. So break and retest of 6,000. Probably pre-market high 6,004 would be the number to watch, and that will be breaking over this 50 moving average, the red line. Are we looking at a reversal? We've broken the trend. We're putting in a left shoulder head. Can't really see a right shoulder. Bit of a muted one there, maybe, I don't know. Not really. If we can break that area there, then that's why we can watch for break and retest. Then we might be looking at reversal, but I do quite like it to come back down and bounce in this area. Yes, I was watching this zone here, 59.60. I did take a long there, and obviously you can see what happened. And I took another long down here as well, only a very small risk, and then I changed my direction and went long, and that worked a lot better, as you can see. Sorry, I took the first long there and it didn't work. The second long did work. I did try, I think we broke pre-market high yesterday, I can't remember, but I did try a long up here as well, preempted the pre-market high, and I preempted it, didn't break it, and I stopped out. So I took a very small stop there. It might have been just when market is opening around about here, and then I took a very small stop there, and then I took a winning trade from there, and I think I drove it up to about here, and I stopped out. I just trailed it up on the 5 and 15 minute. End of the day green, which is good. So let's just find a level. So this region here, 59.40. Let's just drop down to the 15 and see whether we can find. Okay, so we've got a zone. Let's get rid of that one. We're going to add in a new zone to watch, and we're adding in that zone there. And what I'm looking for is a big move up, but I'm looking for the previous rejection where the sellers came in but the buyers took them out. You could even watch this region here as well. This is a big area, big bottom tail. But the reason I didn't like it is because the volume declines down there. Most of the volume's here. So if we do come back down into this region, I quite like this area for a bounce. I will consider all the way down here for a bounce as well. If we lose pre-market low, then we will be coming into a bit of a volume shelf, but we can watch for a break and retest and just keep it very tight. That's our upward trend right now. And if we break pre-market high, ideally we want to see it break above pre-market high, above yesterday's high, and above this 200 moving average, and come back down and retest them and then look for the entry long. And that's it really for ES. So let's quickly flick through SPY. SPY is the same really. Watch down this region. I'll keep this area shaded because that's still a valid area based on that candle there. We're in the 15-minute chart right now. So let's watch for a bounce in this region. Let's also watch for a break and retest of pre-market low. We can use this region as a target. Break and retest of pre-market high. Ideally, once it go over yesterday's high, come back in. Be wary of the 200 moving average. We could see it that continued down potentially. Next area of rejection I quite like is, I don't look at that one, I do quite like this area. And again, I'm looking for the green candle before the big change of direction, that direction there. So let's keep an eye on 601, 600, a psychological number as well. 601, 602 area for the rejection. I did have a level for ES. I didn't, so we can keep that area there, but we can also add in, and I'm really only looking at it to be in market hours, that region there. We have got a level there already defined, so that's just, I like the shaded layer, it just gives me an idea. SPX levels pretty much the same as before. Do we have anything new? Could we have made this a level? Maybe we've got a pivot there. I'll keep what we got. Hang on, let's just fine tune this one. There you go, that's a better level. Not quite the bottoms of those candles, but we're holding. This is the level we've been watching as well. Came in, touched it, rejected it. So again, if we can get back up into this region here, this is 60-20, 60-31. I do quite like that for the rejection. Let's get rid of that level. Maybe keep an eye on that level because of that pivot. See if we break through. Kind of held it already, and we've got the bounce area down here. That's it really. We watch for a bounce down here again or rejection up here. 60-31 or 59-25 area, and we do have 6,000 psychological number. So be wary of that, but we've kind of blasted our way through it, so it's not that relevant anymore, I don't think. NQ, the NASDAQ. Let's go back to the hourly. So we do have this region here to watch. I'll keep that level from before. That was a area of demand, and then it broke through and then became an area of supply. Look at that, we touched it. We've got yesterday's highs. Is that market hours? No, not market hours, so we ignore that one. I'm only looking for market hour rejection zones. And we got the lows of yesterday, so let's just come up with some levels. Keep an eye on this area, 2100 for a bounce. 21,000 I meant for a bounce, psychological number. I can see now why that bounced there. Otherwise, the next area is this region up here. And it's a zone, so we'll be watching this region here for the rejection, 21,600, 21,700. So that's two areas on watch, and obviously pre-market high, pre-market low, break and retests. QQQ. Pretty much the same. We can see we're in this hourly downtrend. We did break it in the pre-market, so I quite like the break and retest of pre-market high and pre-market low, and also if we can get back down into this zone down where we were yesterday, around this area, I like that area for a bounce. And then we've got our rejection zone, which is the highs of Monday. This region there, and obviously I've just marked it up on the hourly, but I'd normally go down to the 15 minutes to refine that. Oil, it's definitely in a downtrend now. Couldn't hold that level, we see we broke through, broke and retested. What's our next big point down? So let's watch 68.25 for the bounce. Oh, excuse me. Two reasons. We've got this big volume shelf. We've got this pivot down there as well. Not a big fan of the next level. Let's get rid of that one. Let's just zoom in a bit. And then if we can get back up into this region, I do quite like this region up here. Look at that for a beautiful supply zones. Let's mark it in. Again, it's the hourly. I'd refine that. Get rid of that one. It's not relevant now. That's not relevant anymore. And that's aftermarket, so I'm not going to watch that. That's definitely during the market. I will consider the aftermarket supply and demand zones, but I'll treat it differently with slightly less risk. And then we can watch this area down here for the bounce, and we're right in that zone right now, this zone round here. So maybe if we're watching it for a bounce, a break and retest a pre-market high. We've got yesterday's high as a target, and then we've got hopefully a big push up there. If we lose pre-market low, which is also yesterday's low, we can watch for a break and retest short. Gold is selling off. Look at that. I said yesterday watch for a break and retest. That area there. Did I define that area? What time did I have the sell off? The sell off was, might have been back up here. Here we go, we can be bouncing this zone as well. So just watch for a bounce down here. Yesterday's low again. Otherwise, break and retest a pre-market high is going to be higher risk because we've got the moving averages just above, and we've got this big volume shelf above as well, but we might be able to scalp something out there. And then the next volume shelf below where we are now, it's not until we get down to the bottom ends of this zone. So we can keep an eye on that zone. Let's just put the price on. Let's keep an eye on this zone for a bounce, but if we break down and lose it, we can look for the rejection. I think pre-market low break and retest might be a more higher probable trade based on the little bit of a trend we've had recently. But we are just in this sideways part. We talked about this on ES. You can see it's more defined here, sideways, and we've got the uptrend here. We've got the sideways trend here. You could say all of that. I can't remember what came before, but we could say all this area. And this is the phases. And we're either going to lose this area and put in a new downtrend, or we're going to just break out this area and put in a new uptrend. And we're just basically going up, across, up. So let's keep an eye on those zones. So we've got a rejection zone up here, 29.70. We've got a bounce zone down here at 2900 basically, psychological number as well, and then break and retest pre-market high and pre-market low. RTY, see, I like this pattern. Depends where you want to see where the left shoulder is. That could be the left shoulder there, or you could say that's the left shoulder, that's the head. And are we going to put in a right shoulder? Neckline is pre-market high, pre-market yesterday's high. So if we break out over pre-market high, yesterday high, we're not only breaking those levels, also breaking that 50 moving average. And where's our volume shelf? There's a volume shelf below. I've got a little bit of a shelf above, so be a bit wary of that 29,200. So I do quite like the break and retest long today on the Russell 2000, so I'll keep an eye on that. And that's probably the end place. We can watch yesterday's low for a bounce. And then YM, which is the Dow Jones. Again, I do quite like the break and retest of pre-market high, yesterday's high. We couldn't quite get over it yesterday. We tried once, twice, 3 times, 4 times today, including the pre-market. And if we can get over it and come back and retest, I think that would be a decent trade. And then we can target these pivots, and then this area here is a big supply zone. And then finally Bitcoin, and we'll quickly look at the order flow. Bitcoin's taken a bit of a dump, which is great. Well, not great if you're holding up here. I will be honest, I'm holding some from up here. but I've been building up a position, and now I'm looking to add to this position. 75 is my next target. Let's put some alerts in. In fact, 80 is my next target for it to add. Again, I'm only adding small amounts, so it's not like it's going to make life-changing difference. It's not like I'm going all in up here, waiting for it to break out, and it doesn't. I'm literally adding little tiny bits, and I use Revolut, and whenever I make a purchase on my Revolut card, it rounds up the difference and adds that to Bitcoin as well. So all these little bits help, especially on this phase here. This is we've broken out through that phase. Look at that for a beautiful double top. So I'm looking to, I added a little bit yesterday there, and I'm looking to add when we get back down into this area as well. And then let's look for day trade levels. Pretty much break and retest of pre-market low where we are right now, or probably the retest of yesterday's high. We've broken it already, and then if we can get above yesterday's high and pre-market high, break and retest long as well. And I think that's pretty much it. Let's quickly flick over to the order flow. I'm not trading today. I'm going to be away until Wednesday next week, so this will be my last live pre-market video for a few days. But I will keep the live stream running. This is the order flow stream which you're looking at now. And there's a little bit of divergence going on. You can see we're putting in lower lows, whereas the cumulative delta is putting in higher or equal highs. So not a big divergence, but maybe we've obviously got some aggressive selling here, a few aggressive buying. I meant, sorry, but the price is coming down. So sellers are buying, price moving down. I think we might be seeing a little bit of absorption here to the buyers, and then eventually either the buyers will be fully absorbed or the sellers will give up selling, and then we're going to see something happen. Either we're going to break out or we're going to continue the downtrend. So if we were to flick back to ES and see what levels we're close to right now. Okay, you could say this is a sell setup. This is a break of trend. We're pulling back. So this would be, if it's market hours, I probably would have taken that trade, stop at pre-market high, and look for it to retest the lows. Keep an eye on that area there for a potential bounce, but I don't see anything. My only bounce areas I'll be considering is this region, maybe this region, and then not sure I'd like a bounce down there, but there is an area of confluence, so a break and retest of pre-market high. So nothing for me. We are below the 50, so as I said in previous videos, if we're below the 50, I like to think that means we've lost institutional support or support of the smart money. This is a 50 on the daily as well, and look how well below it. So right now, institutes are looking to accumulate all the way down, buy, to get their good position, ready for the next market move up. So that's how I see it, and that's kind of how I like to trade as well, and that's how I'm doing with my Bitcoin and some of my swing trades and my long-term trades. Okay, that's it. Market opens in 5 minutes. Let's get back to the hourly or the 15-minute. Yeah, so be a bit where we were a little bit overbought in the pre-market, but we kind of notice how we get down to the oversold area, big move up, but we're right in the middle right now, so it could go either way. So no bias today, just play the market as it is. Just only play valid A+ setups, and my only A+ setups I'm watching for is the break and retest of pre-market high, which I want to see it break yesterday's high, break and retest of pre-market low, and then I'm watching for a bounce in this region, and I'm watching for a rejection in this region, 60.40, and then the bounce down at 59.40, and that's it. Okay, thank you for watching. I will be back on Wednesday. And some other news as well, before I go, I just remembered, I've just created a Discord channel, and there's nothing there at the moment, it's a bit bare, but I will be adding content to that channel. Let me just share it. So I will be adding content to this channel, so I've opened up the general where anyone can chat, and then I'll add the live streams into here as well and do some live trading as well. And then I've got loads of educational stuff to come in. My back testing results, books and stuff, indicators which are already there. Some of them are free, some of them are paid for ones for NinJATRADER. Any videos I add or videos I recommend, and webinars. I'm going to start doing some more webinars as well. But you're welcome to give it a try. Any comments, suggestions, let me know. Right, trade safe. I'm not trading today. I'll watch the market. Unless I see something set up in the next 5 to 10 minutes, then if not, I'm travelling. So I'm travelling a bit later, so I don't really want to get involved with trading. Okay, thank you for watching, and trade safe, and I'll see you next week.